Well, Dave and Gary, thank you so much for being here today to talk to me about making a movie out of Pops and Sunshine. One of the first golf books I ever read, and I loved it so much. And even my husband read it and loved it, and I was really shocked that a man would read a book about women's golf, but thrilled that it had happened. So before we get into this a little bit and talk about the movie and the book, tell me, how did you two get together?
God, it's kind of I think through Paula Trickey, who's a mutual friend and an avid golfer. We do a lot of the charity golf events all over the country for different charities, and I think Dave got my name through her. Is that right, Dave?
That's right. Well, exactly. I sent the book and the screenplay out to Paula. I was pitching it to anybody I could think of out in Hollywood, and she's a former Hollywood actress who's very active in golf, as Gary said. I thought she might make a good person, and somehow Gary found out about it, or I got his name, or he got my name, and we got in touch about last year sometime.
Yeah.
And Gary read the book and the screenplay and got back to me, and he saw some potential in it, which really made me feel good, and we just sort of picked up the ball from there, and now we're sort of formalized the relationship, and we're moving ahead with the project. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and I got to say, Dave was tenacious. He because sometimes we get so busy and we get things, and everybody takes a long time to read everything, and Dave kept asking me, and I just was like working on something, and I just wasn't reading. I said, God, I got to read this book. I'm feeling bad. Dave's such a nice guy. And I read the book, and I was just so pleased that I read it. I just thought it was a wonderful story, a heartfelt story, and I went, man, this should be a movie.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. Well, we both, you both think that this should be a Hollywood success, and I certainly do. I mean, it's just chock full of so many stories and sidelines. But tell me, why do you think it's going to be a Hollywood success?
Just because it's a relationship story, and people love relationship stories. People love a heartfelt story of redemption, and people find themselves through each other, and those resonate with people. And you can see that in numerous movies that have been done, like, for instance, E.T. That was a relationship story. Mm-hmm. About Henry, that little boy in E.T., and it resonated with people. And this is the same type of, it's a relationship story of the heart, and heartfelt stories, I feel, are do very well.
Yeah, I'm going to bring out Kleenex. I know that. But, yeah. We don't see a lot of movies about women's golf. Babes, Sahara, maybe the movie in the 70s, and then Pat and Mike, that comedy in the 50s with Katharine Hepburn. But Not a lot going on with women's golf. Seen a lot more movies about the men. So how do you think this movie is actually going to impact women's golf in North America?
Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'd love to see it have a very positive impact. Gail, we're a big fan of the feature store and the LPGA that I am, right? And that's why I was inspired to write the novel and the screenplay, because I met these young girls that are trying to live their dream and make it to the LPGA, and I learned about all their struggles and disappointments, and many had to give up because they couldn't afford to keep doing it. And not to mention the wonderful games that these women have. I'm just so impressed whenever I watch these girls play. So when I saw that, and I saw the human element behind the struggle to make it to the LPGA, I said, gee, that'd make a great story. And it really is a natural, because I fictionalized it, and I brought in a few characters and the relationship that develops between the young golfer, Lisa Nelson, and Dave Johnston, an older man that comes to meet her and becomes her caddy, and they share a very similar background. They've both been through similar personal tragedies. And it's sort of just developed, and I think it becomes a natural. It's human, it's relationships and the power of helping each other through struggles, and I think it'll appeal to both golfers and non-golfers alike, I hope, when it gets out there on the big screen.
Yeah, and I just think that I think golf, sports in general for women is so important, and it's come so far the last 10 years especially, whether it's volleyball or tennis or basketball or golf, and I just think it's wonderful for women to be competing. I think sports is important for men and women, and it's just as difficult for a woman to make the Pro Tour as it is for a man. And the women's golf is like they said, is excellent. I watch it, enjoy it. I love women's tennis. And I just think it creates I think sports create a better person. So I think, women's sports should be celebrated just as men's sports are celebrated.
Yeah, no question about it, and certainly the women struggle. I mean, getting sponsorship, which is so important to even make it around those mini tours, living out of the back of your car, so tough, so tough. Well, you know what I really loved about the book? Best of all, I think, although the story is wonderful, no question about it, I love the characters. There are characters that you love, there are characters that you hate, and there are characters that are so hilarious, you can picture in your mind who would play those roles. Now, I'm going to throw this out. Have you thought about the actors out there, who would you like to play? The Lisa, Robbie, Dave, Mrs. B, for crying out loud. She, right from sort of the 50s kind of person on Andy of Mayberry or something.
Right.
Tinker, Shelley, and Lance. Who would you put in some of those roles?
Oh God, there's a wide variety of people, that we could put in. If I had my druthers, I would love to play, the father. I would love to play Dave, that part. I think it's a wonderful part, and I'd love to play it. Will I play it? Who knows? We'll see at what level the film gets, what kind of money, how much money we get, what level it goes out at.
Gary would be perfect for the main lead role. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I would be very good for it. But that said, I may not end up playing that part. But the 20-year-olds, the golfer, it's going to depend. I'd love to see. I think Dakota Fanning would be wonderful in that part, at Lisa. I think she'd be great. But there's a multitude of girls out there that could do it, that are good. It's so who knows? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, you can get some right from the tours. We saw that 7 Days in Tokyo was chock full of golfers, real golfers.
We'll definitely use. All professional golfers that all people on the mini tour. We'll definitely use all pros in the film as and sportscasters, everybody involved in the golf world. That always helps a movie to have people that are involved in the sport and in the film.
Do you see the Golf Channel getting heavily involved in this production?
We hope so.
We hope so. Yes. We're at the stage now, Gail, just starting out where we obviously don't have any agreement set up, and we'd love for that to happen, but it's too early to talk about exactly how it would all develop. But that'd be a big goal of ours. The movie Tin Cup, you saw the way that the CBS characters and the PGA players played themselves in roles in that movie. So it would be along those lines, ideally, I think, for us, and it would lend some reality to the story, and so that's something we'll definitely be working on, but at this stage, it's a little premature to start, saying definitely what's going to happen.
Right now, we want to work on the relationships in the script, translating the book into the script, and make the script as heartfelt as the book is. But, there's no reason this movie can't do what, Tin Cup, Happy Gilmore, those type of Main Street golf movies did. This film has all the elements to do the same thing.
Gary's already had some great suggestions for changes in the script. I think it's a good story generally. I think the novel was very, very well received, and I think it moved people. But Gary knows how stories like this work on film because he has so many years of experience as an actor, producer, director, and writer. And so I've been taking leads from him on how to change the subtle changes in the story. I'm not going to change the story, entirely, but ways to keep to develop the characters, to bring the audience closer to each of the characters, so they'll relate more strongly with the characters on film. So that's one of the things we're working on right now to sort of punch up or revise the script to make it even more powerful than the novel. And I think this is a story that was made for film. I can, I think I've told you, I've seen this movie play out in my head so many times. I think it'd be a very well-received film once we get it just the way we want it.
Yeah, well, definitely. Golfers would love to go see it, I'm sure. But, I think there's so much in there. Even if you don't play golf, you could really enjoy this movie. So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
I'm saying it's not, it's golf is just a, an important part, but a subplot. It's about the relationship. It's about the relationship and about these two people and how they find themselves through each other and heal themselves in a certain way. And that's what the story's about. And golf is just an ancillary part of that. A good part, a great part, but, it's about the relationship, as was Tin Cup. I mean, it really was about those relationships. That's what got you. The golf was exciting, but it was about the relationships. Brian's song. It was around football, but it was about the relationship between those two characters that that involved you in that film. You know, the sports is, any great movie around sports that I've seen, the sports is just an ancillary part. It's about the two people in a relationship that make the film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, otherwise it's a boring film.
Yeah, no, I absolutely you definitely have to have that. Being an avid golfer myself, though, I'm curious, like, if you had to put in some stunt doubles from the Pro Tour to come in and hit some shots to make it look like Lisa's doing it, given I can't imagine too many of the young ladies in Hollywood being golfers yet. You got any thoughts on that?
Oh, we'll definitely use a great golfer. We'll hire somebody to come in and do that, and that's easily done. That's done in every golf. My buddy Chris McDonald, I was up for that part too, and Happy Gilmore. Chris is a decent golfer, but he worked on that swing. But and they had a double in there taking the shots. Trust me.
You might have used Hollywood magic. Hollywood magic, yeah.
The Hollywood magic it will appear.
Yeah. No.
But as Gary mentioned, I'm looking forward, if we get this going, to actually having some of the players from the Futures Tour, or the Symetra Tour, as it's called now, to play some roles. There are some minor roles in the film that don't have a lot of lines and wouldn't require any expert acting ability that they could do. And I think it'd be a great promotional thing for the LPGA and the Symetra Tour to have some of the players involved in this, and I just really think it would be a great promotional vehicle for the LPGA and its Symetra Tour to get this out there and get a lot of buzz going. You know how they're trying to generate more enthusiasm, more sponsors, more tournaments for the LPGA, and I think this would be a wonderful way to do it. It's never been done before.
It would be a great way to do it. It would be a very powerful way to do it.
Have you been able to talk to the commissioner of the tour about it?
He has my book and my screenplay sitting on his desk, and he's a busy man, and I know, well, I don't know, but I'm hoping that he has a chance to read it and react to it the way that most people that have read the novel at least have reacted, and we'll see the potential in trying to support this. I certainly hope he does.
I plan on giving him a call and having a conversation with him, definitely, at some point here. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
Well, it's a huge undertaking making a movie. I mean, obviously you've got a strong team with the two of you together, but what are the hurdles you have to climb still? I mean, we've heard a few today, and, what are your hopes and dreams for kicking this thing off for real and starting filming?
Well, we have to find the right, it's always about the money. In any project, it's always about the money and tenacity. So we just have to stick at it and find the right person who wants to put the money up, or the right company that sees it and sees the vision and sees the potential of the product placement and I think we could with the right person, right actors involved, we could get I think the LPGA and all the ancillary golf products that go into women's golf, from the clubs to Callaway to whoever it might be, to come in and put some money into it also once we have the right pieces in place. So we just have to stay at it. That's all. That's what you do with it. It took Rocky, I think 12 years to get made. Hatfield and McCoy's with Kevin Costner. I was just at the wrap party for that. That was 10 years in the making. Now, hopefully this is not going to take that long. But we have to stay after it, and you just have to believe in it. And if you believe in it, then the money will come. The right deal will come. You just have to stay after it. That's all.
No, that's great. Yeah. Oh, I love that positive attitude too. I mean, just you just got to keep at everything. Anything worth doing is worth working hard for.
Absolutely. And this is a tough business. I mean, making movies. If you see a movie on the screen, the work that it took to get that movie up there, people don't realize how many years and how much sweat and how much time and how many meetings and how many no's you have to hear. And you have to have the right temperament to hear those no's, because you hear a lot more no's than you do yes. It only takes one yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary knows a lot more about that, the whole business side of it, than I do, obviously. And I just think we're going to find people out there that are fans of the game, that are the big money type people that would love to get behind something like this, because I think it's a very marketable project that I think could be very profitable if we can get it made to someone that loves the game, would like to support, and is also a business person that would like to get a return on his investment. So I think there's plenty of people out there that if we can find the right combination, I think we can get it done.
Yeah, well, if you look at family films in general also, if I may, if you look at family films, you will see whatever they are, from the horse movies that have been made recently to the ones in the past. The names escape me right now. But family films in general have an incredible return and do very well, because people are hungry to take their kids to something that doesn't have bad language, something that has a good story, something that makes them feel good, warms their spirits. And there's far and few films out there like that, in Hollywood. So when they do put a good one out, they do incredibly well.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Mr. Trump, he's got the Miss Universe pageant. He loves women. He loves the ladies. He loves ladies golf.
Well, I have a good friend who works for him, who's one of the heads of his pageant, Paula, who was one of my old manager's assistants for many years, and I'm going to send her the script just for that reason. I was thinking of Donald Trump. I've met Donald, and I'm going to send Paula the script to give to him because he loves golf.
The other one
is natural.
What about Mr. Timberlake there, Justin? First he's a heartthrob for the ladies, going to draw a lot of interest that way.
Oh, he would be wonderful. He would be wonderful.
He could be a great Robbie.
Oh yeah, he'd be great to play Rob. He'd be great.
Anyway, okay, so enough ideas.
We would love to have him. Trust me.
Yeah.
and so would a lot of other people in Hollywood.
I know, but he loves golf. He loves golf.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be great. Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah. I don't even want to see golf, but boy, oh boy, you'd have them flocking. Ladies golf would grow exponentially if he was on. Anyway, guys, this has been so much fun, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I want to stay on top of this and stay on top of what you guys are doing, and let us know how the progress is going. But before we end, do you have anything you wanted to close with? Anything you wanted to say?
No, just thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate it.
I'll keep you posted, Gail. You and I are always in touch, so I'll let you know if there's any earth-shaking developments, and I'll be happy to let you know right away.
Well, that's perfect. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Gary. Now, just best of luck to both of you. And if you need one of those media persons as an extra standing along the sidelines,
you got it.
Robes, hey, call me.
you got it. And come in Vancouver, we'll go play some golf. By the way.
Oh, I'd love that, Gary.
Yeah, I love the courses there.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, they are.
Okay, guys, have a great day. Thanks again so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gail.
All right.